So today what we are going to do first is we're going to review some subjects and predicates. Then we will have an activity that we'll do in Seesaw on that. We will review some ABC order. Then we will have an activity in Seesaw that we will practice that. And then I want to read through the Henry and Mudge story before we take the story or the test part for the story, okay? So I want to read through it first so that we have it in our brains so that when we take the test part on Seesaw, the story is right there in our brains. It's fresh in our memory. And that'll be what we do for language arts today. Then any other time that we have after that, we'll have maybe hopefully some time for some reading eggs, maybe some fast phonics time. And if we still need to finish Sanford Harmony, we have time to do that too, okay? So we're going to start with our subjects and predicates part first. Can anybody tell me what is a subject of a sentence? I'm going to write it down here in my pink pen here. If I'm talking about the subject part of the sentence, what am I talking about? Subject equals what? Oh, let me let Rosemary in real quick. Okay. What is the subject part of the sentence? Actually, you know what? I'm going to pick a stick. Because we've talked about it for like 2 weeks now. So really, everybody should be able to tell me what the subject is. The subject, Kaden, is what?
The person.
Okay, so the subject tells me what part of the sentence? The who part or the what is happening part? Yeah, subject tells me who. In great big letters, who. Okay, now predicate, I want to make it green today. Can you see the green all the way back there, Valerie? Okay, fantastic. I like the green. All right, predicate. If subject tells me who, then the predicate tells me Valerie.
What is the person doing?
Right, what is happening in the sentence? Very good, Valerie. So the subject tells me who, the predicate is what? Is, I'm making it nice and big, happening. Okay? I'm going to run out of space. I-N-G. Oh, I almost ran out of space, but I got it in there. Subject tells me who in the sentence. Predicate tells me what is happening in the sentence. Let me let Alina in real quick. Okay, so our very first sentence, I will underline the subjects in pink. I will underline the predicates in green, just like I have here on the board. Our very first sentence says, we went to Pizza Hut for supper. What's the subject in that sentence? We went to Pizza Hut for supper. I'm going to do a stick person. Unless there's a friend at home that would like to volunteer, I'm going to do a stick person. Oh, Derek's not here. I can't do his stick. Logan, what's the subject in our first sentence?
Who?
The subject tells me who, but my first sentence is, we went to Pizza Hut for supper. So what's the subject in that sentence?
We.
We. Just the word we. Can the subject be just one word sometimes?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. So, we went to Pizza Hut for supper. What is the predicate of that sentence? Friends at home, remember, if you want to make a guess too, you can raise your hand. What is the predicate of that sentence? Jamie?
We went to Pizza Hut.
Nice and loud so I can hear you.
Went to Pizza Hut. Went to Pizza Hut.
There's more words though. Went to Pizza Hut for supper. All of that is the predicate, not just part of it. All of that is the predicate right now. Went to Pizza Hut for supper is the whole predicate. Who, we, what, went to Pizza Hut for supper. All of that, okay? All right, our next sentence. A huge flock of seagulls flew over the beach. Oh, the beach. Oh, hold on, I'm going there for a second. Okay, I'm back. All right. A huge flock of seagulls flew over the beach. Angelina, what's my subject in that sentence?
The big
That's all, folks. I will read the sentence again. Here we go. A huge flock of seagulls flew over the beach.
A huge flock of
Yes, all of that is the subject. A huge flock of seagulls. All of that is the subject. The predicate then would be what? Oh, Alina, I'm calling on you even though you're at home. Alina, can you tell me what the predicate is in our sentence? A huge flock of seagulls flew over the beach.
Flew over the...
Fantastic. All of those words. Flew over the beach is the predicate. Give me a second. I'm going to the beach. Okay, I'm back. I can go to the beach just that fast. Fantastic. All right, next sentence. Here we go. The snowflakes were falling slowly from the sky. Okay, I'm thinking of snowflakes right now, but I don't really want snowflakes right now. I don't know why I came up with that sentence, but the snowflakes were falling slowly from the sky. The subject in that sentence, Aiden, is what?
The snowflakes were falling.
Oh, not all those words.
The snowflakes.
The snowflakes. Good job, Zayden. Thank you for fixing that. The snowflakes is the subject in the sentence. Now, the action or the predicate, the what is happening part of the sentence, Levi, is what?
It's falling slowly from the sky.
Wonderful job. All of those words. We're falling slowly from the sky is the whole predicate. All right, last sentence says, Jessie watched as the hot air balloon flew higher and higher. The subject in that sentence, oh, Jose's not in the room right now. The subject in that sentence, Jake, is what?
Jessie.
Jessie. Very good, Jake. Nice job, buddy. Jessie is the subject. Now, so that means then the predicate in that sentence, Jessie watched as the hot air balloon flew higher and higher, Gwen, is what?
The predicate is watch the hot air balloon flew higher and higher.
Yeah, all of those words. Watched as watched as the hot air balloon flew higher and higher is the whole predicate. The hair balloon. I've never seen a hair balloon, but that would be funny. Okay? So, the subject is who. The predicate is what is happening. Now, let's switch gears, change our brains. We're going to start thinking about ABC order. Let me flip my screen here, friends. There we go. Ding, ding, ding. We have some new words. Okay, when we are thinking of ABC order, moving right along, A, not with that pen, I'm not. Moving right along. Let's see if I can get the pen to work this time. A, B, C, order. When we start ABC order, what do we usually look at first? What do we usually look at first when we are doing ABC order? Is there anybody at home that wants to make a guess? What do we look at first for ABC order? Rosemary, do you have your hand up?
The first thing that we look for in ABC order is a word that starts with A.
Right, or we look at the first letter in each word, right? So, Rosemary, I really like the way you answer questions because you say part of my question in your answer. I love the way you do that. Fantastic. So Rosemary's right. The very first thing that we look for in ABC order, first of all, is we look for the first letter and we look to see if we have a word that starts with A. Now, what if we have 2 or 3 words that start with the same letter? What do we need to look at if we have 2 or 3 words that start with the same letter? I'm going to stick it. I'm going to stick it to, oh, Alina. I got to call on you again, Alina. Alina, if I have 2 words that start with the same first letter, what do I need to look at? Can you unmute yourself, Poles?
The second letter.
The second letter, right. But what happens if I have 2 words that have the same second letter? Then where do I go with it, Levi?
You put in first.
If I have 2 words or 3 words that have the same first letter and the same second letter, where do I look next?
At the last letter.
Or the third letter, right? Sometimes it's the last letter, but sometimes I have words that are longer than 3 letters, so sometimes it just has to be the third letter, right? And then if they have the same first 3 letters, we look at the 4th letter. If they have the same first 4 letters, we look at the 5th letter. Hopefully we don't have to look at tons of letters, but we just keep looking till we can see 2 letters that are different, and then we start to put them in ABC order. Okay, so I'm going to try to move you guys a little bit closer so you see my words a little better. There you go. Okay. Now, my words today, our list of words, we have ring, car, book, grab, win, candy, yum, and rain. Now, like Rosemary told us, we try to look to see if we have any words that start with the letter A first. So looking at my list of words, if I have a word that starts with A, give me a thumbs up. If I do not have a word that starts with A, give me a thumbs down. Tell me what you think. Do I have any words that start with the letter A? Oh, good. I see lots of thumbs down. No words that start with the letter A. So then I'm moving on to the next letter of the alphabet, Kaden, which is what? C comes after A in the alphabet? B, yeah. So do I have any words that start with B? Ring, car, book, grab, win, candy, rain. Thumbs up if you see a word that starts with B. Thumbs down if you do not. Woo, I see lots of thumbs up. Fantastic. Any volunteers? What would my first word be? Kinsley, what would my first word be, hon? Book. Great job, Kinsley. Good to hear from you. Book. B-O-O-K would be my first word in alphabetical order in this list. I'm going to put a little line through it. I don't want to scribble it out because I want to be able to see it again just in case I make a mistake like we did with our morning work this morning. Some of us, we needed to go back and fix it. Not a big deal that we need to go back and fix it, but it's a lot easier to see them if we don't scribble them out. Now I'm looking for words that start with B. Any more words that start with B? Nope. So now I'm going to look for words that start with what letter, JB? C. After B comes C. Do I have any words that start with C? Yes! Oh, tricky. How many words do I have that start with C? 2. I have the word car, and I have the word candy. They both start with C. So I can't really look at the first letter because we know they both start with C, so I can't really look there. What about the second letter of these 2 words? C-A-R for car, C-A-N-D-Y for candy. Can I use the second letter to put them in alphabetical order? No. Not this time. Kaden, dude, everything you need is right up here in front of you, so there's no need to turn around, okay? I should be up here. Now, let me look at the third letter. I see the letter R in car is the third letter. I see the letter N in candy. So R and N, do I have 2 different letters now? Yes, finally I have 2 different letters. So now I have to decide which one is going to come first. The C-A-R in car or the C-A-N in candy. Jake, you want to give it a try? Candy. Fantastic, Jake. Candy, because N comes before R in our alphabet, candy would be next in our row of our list of alphabetical words. So I can put a line through candy, and now I know I can write the word car. So candy would come before car. Now I have ring, grab, win, and rain left. Ring, grab, win, and rain. Which word do we think is going to come next in our list of alphabetical words? Ring, grab, win, or rain? Yeah, Nessa, what do you think, hon? Oh, nice and loud. Can you say it again?
R.
You think R, one of the words that starts with R, comes next? Not quite yet. We still have a letter. We have ring, grab, wind, and rain. We have a word that starts with a letter that's going to come before the letter R. Valerie, what do you think? Grab. Grab is going to be next in our list of alphabetical words. G-R-A-B spells grab. Now I have ring, win, and rain. Now, what's going to be my next word or words? I don't have any H's, I don't have any I's, I don't have any J's, I don't have any K's, I don't have any L's, I don't have any M's, I don't have any N's, I don't have any O's, I don't have any P's, I don't have any Q's, but I do have R's. Uh-oh. Show me with fingers. How many words do I have that start with an R? 2. I have ring. Ding, 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 ding. And I have rain. Dong, 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 dong. So 2 words that start with the letter R now. So can't use the first letter. Have to look at the second letter. Fantastic. R-I in ring and R-A in rain. Which one of those 2 words do you think is going to come first? Mackenzie.
Rain.
Rain. Thank you, Mackenzie. Nice job hearing from you. Rain. R-A-I-N is going to become before ring. R-I-N-G. Very good job. And last but not least, my last word will be win. W-I-N. Okay? So, take your time when you do ABC order. Make sure you don't just look at the first letter, but sometimes you look at the second letters or the third letters. If you make a mistake, should you go back and fix it? Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Okay. There will be an activity where we're practicing a little bit more ABC order and seesaw, but before we do that, I'm going to switch screens here. I'm going to say goodbye to this screen. Now, friends at home, if you'd like, you can get out your hard reading book and open up to pages 14 and 15. Friends here, if you want to do the same thing. I will have it up on the board, however, if you want to look at the board, but if you would like to follow along in your book, sometimes it's a lot easier to see the pictures and the words in your book than it is up on the board. I just want to read through Henry and Mudge very quickly so that we have it right in our brains before we take the comprehension part of the test in seesaw this morning, okay? So let me stick these 6 back in here. You're turning to pages 14 and 15 in your hard reading book if you're using your hard reading book to follow along. If you're not using your hard reading book to follow along, that's okay, but just put it in your desk then if you're not going to have the book open looking at the pages. Levi, if you're not going to open it up to look at the pages, just keep it in your desk. You don't need to have it out. If you're going to look on the board, that's fine, but you don't need to have the book out if you're not going to look at it. Okay. Remember, Henry and Mudge is a realistic fiction story. Realistic fiction is the kind of story that's make-believe. That's the fiction part. It's a fake story. But there are some things that could be real in it, or it could be like something that could really happen. So you can have characters that act like real people or have real names of people that you know or things like that. Or things could happen in the story that could really happen. Like in Henry and Mudge, there could be a boy who really has no brothers and sisters and doesn't have any friends on the street who really wants a dog and his parents say okay and he gets a dog. That could really happen in real life. So even though it's a make-believe story, it's a story that could happen, okay? So I'm just going to read through the story. You can just follow along. And that way the story is in your brain so you're ready to go for the comprehension part of the test. Henry and Mudge is written by Cynthia Ryland and it's illustrated by Susie Stevenson. Oh, let me ask this question real quick. If Cynthia Ryland is the author, what part does she do for this story? What does the author do for a story, Jamie? Not draws the pictures. Nope. She writes the words. The author writes the words for the story. So if the author writes the words for the story, then the illustrator does what, Logan?
The illustrator writes the picture.
Draws the pictures. Right, very good. The author writes the words, the illustrator draws the pictures. Okay, here we go. Henry and Mudge. Henry had no brothers and no sisters. I want a brother, he told his parents. Sorry, they said. Henry had no friends on his street. I want to live on a different street, he told his parents. Sorry, they said. Henry had no pets at home. I want to have a dog, he told his parents. Sorry, they almost said. But first, they looked at their house with no brothers and no sisters. Then they looked at their street with no children. Then they looked at Henry's face. Then they looked at each other. Okay, they said. I want to hug you, Henry told his parents. And he did. Henry searched for a dog. Not just any dog, said Henry. Not a short one, he said. Not a curly one, he said. And no pointed ears. Then he found Mudge. Mudge had floppy ears, not pointed. Mudge had straight fur, not curly. But Mudge was short. Because he's a puppy, Henry said. He'll grow. And did he ever? He grew out of his puppy cage. He grew out of his dog cage. He grew out of 7 collars in a row. And when he finally stopped growing, he weighed 180 pounds. He stood 3 feet tall, and he drooled. That's my favorite part. I'm glad you're not short, Henry said. And Mudge licked him and then sat on him. I like the drool part. That's my favorite part. Okay,